Everyone.
Everything. Nice.
All right. Hi, everyone. So, hi, everyone. First, I would like to say thank you to Star for having us. I'm really honored and humbled to be here standing with Planet today. This is the first Baruch annual diversity expo, and the theme today is leveraging our differences. And I believe that this is something I can actually speak about. Because I'm from Mali, West Africa, and I lived in 5 countries growing up, and so I was able to be exposed to diversity at such a young age. And I believe that this is something that actually shaped my life. 2 years ago at this very same time, I was actually learning English. I had came to the US January 2015, and I applied to Baruch. Fortunately enough, I got in. And in that summer, I received an email from Success Network, which is a program here on campus, co-sponsoring today actually, that help minorities become successful in college. So through Success Network, I was able to meet NABA, the board members of NABA, and the board members of NABA introduced me to ERC, which is a conference that NABA has every fall. And they encouraged me to apply. I applied for it, and fortunately enough, I was able to get selected. So here I was as a freshman on my way to Pittsburgh, and I was really confused, to be honest with you, because just 3 months before that, I was still learning English. And I was like, what is happening? And I was on my way to Pittsburgh, and I realized that for the first time in my life, I actually didn't really have to get out of my comfort zone. But because I could have stayed at Baruch, go to my classes, not to say that I don't go to my classes, but actually, so I was on my way to Pittsburgh, and I had a chance to network with many companies. And I still have my accent, I had my broken English, and I was like, okay, what can I do? What is unique about me? How can I express that to a recruiter? So I want to network with many companies. Fortunately enough, I was able to network with EY and then get an interview and get my internship by the end of my first semester. What I'm trying to emphasize in this story is that you really have to find, you really first have to use your resources, because without NABA or Success Network, I wouldn't be standing on stage here today. And I think that the best resources are the people around you, the club you join, the organization you join, and the people you meet. And also Star has every resources to help you advance in your career. So I think you really have to get out of your comfort zone. And the fact that you're here today actually shows a lot about you, shows that you're taking initiative and networking with companies. Because if I had let the fact that I had an accent and broken English prevent me from networking, I wouldn't really have made it with EY. So third, and I think the most important, and this is why we're here today, like understand that being a diverse student is gold. Like know your story, own your story, be proud of where you're from, and know that this is what companies actually want. Because at that point, I really had nothing on my resume. I was a freshman, I had no GPA, but I just had my story, my experience, and I was able to express that with the company. So know your story, know yourself, know your work. That's a quote from one of my favorite artists, Drake. But you have to know yourself, know your worth, and be proud of it. Tap into it and definitely try to use that. Use your difference to make a difference for yourself. And that was a little bit about my story. Now I would like to pass it on to Janet, who will share about her story and how she's able to make it work for her in corporate America.
I also like Drake. I just want to put that out there. I'm also transparent. So Abby said something that really resonated with me, and it's something that I'm really passionate about, and it's about diversity and being diverse. So I have a question. How many of you here think that you are diverse or consider yourself diverse? Okay. So some of you didn't raise your hand, but actually all of us have some diverse quality to us, right? So diversity is not only about, how you look physically, it's not only about your skin color, it's not only about your race, but it has to do with your age, your gender, your sexual orientation, socioeconomic status, right? There's so many different things that define being diverse. So now we got that off the table. So we all have some kind of diverse in us, right? Yes? All right, awesome. And though Allie and I may look different, and we come from different backgrounds, I think we all have the same driving force, which is the aspiration to succeed, right? And to realize our dreams. So my story is, I'm a first generation Dominican American. My family came here, like a lot of immigrant families, to live the American dream, right? To be able to support their families back home. I'm the first in my family to graduate from college. I'm also the first to work in corporate America. And my family still has no idea what I do. They're just happy that I got a degree and I'm working full-time, right? When I first got my job at PwC, straight out of Baruch, I was a tax accountant, so that meant that I could do all of my family's taxes. That was not the case, right? Now I'm in HR, and if you guys have been to my presentations here when I'm here with PwC, I'm sure you've heard my story, so I'll save that for another time, right? But that's just a little bit about me. One of the things that I also like to highlight is that I never let where I was at a moment in time in my life define where I was going. So one of the things that I like saying that is like a shock to people is that I used to work in a factory when I was 14 years old in Brooklyn, East New York. So if you guys are familiar with Brooklyn, East New York is not the best area. Any Brooklyn people in the house? All right, everybody's like yes, right? And I know some of you are probably thinking like 14 child labor laws, right? But I did it because I wanted to help my family, and that helped shape the person who I am today, right? Fast forward a little bit after 14 years old, I went to one of the worst high schools in New York City. When I say worst high schools, I mean a high school that was on the news constantly because of gang violence, a high school where I had to walk through metal detectors every day. Anybody familiar with that? One person, two? You know what I'm talking about, right? And then at one point, the high school that I went to, they had a 5% graduation rate. Yeah, 5%. So if we think about that, for my math people in the room, for every 100 people that went to that high school, how many were graduating? I was lucky to be one of those, right? So I never take that for granted because, again, that shaped who I am today. After I graduated from high school, I came to Baruch, and I always say that I had angels that led me here because by no means were my parents in a position to help me apply to college. They barely knew English themselves. All they had was the love and encouragement that they could give me, like, yes, I want you to go to college, do what you need to do, who can help you, right? But they cannot physically sit there and help you with an application. But I ended up here, and I ended up in the SEEK program. Do we have any SEEK people in here? Yes. So the SEEK program, and now I think after I graduated college, is that I realized how much of a blessing that was for me. Because honestly, I think that if I didn't have SEEK, and for those of you that are not familiar with SEEK, I got my own counselor, I got extra money to pay for books, I think at that time they were giving Metro cards, I can't remember. Basically, I got a lot of other perks that other students weren't getting. And I think with that helped me graduate from college, right? So again, being grateful for that opportunity. Through SEEK, I was able to get my first leadership experience. So similar to Alu, he's been getting very involved. I was also very involved on campus. So I first got involved with the SEEK Honor Society. Then I did Team Baruch. I was a freshman seminar leader. And then for, I guess, the rest of my time at Baruch, I was really involved in ALPA, the Association of Latino Professionals for America. And I think after that defined all my path after that. I'm a lifetime member now of ALPA. I was on the board as a professional for 8 years as the chair of student affairs. So it's something that I'm really proud of, and I like giving back because I got people along the way that helped me, like Ingrid, like Betty, I don't know if she's here from SEEK. Probably not. I'm not see her. Right, so it's important, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later on as well. Fast forward to my career at PwC. So how does all of this help me, right? How many of you are active on campus, a student leader, or part of a club? So hopefully after today, all your hands will be up, right? And the reason why I say that is, when I went to PwC, I really stood out from my peers because while I was a student here, I was working part-time, and part-time meant about 30 hours a week, right? Almost full-time. I was also very active on campus. I was literally doing something 7 days a week, and I was a full-time student. I wouldn't recommend that, by the way. But that was the life I was living. Living on the edge. Right, but again, that's my story. When I got to PwC, anyone who knows about the Big Four, it is not a 9-to-5 job, right? So let's get that off the table right now. I was working a lot of hours. I was managing a lot of different clients. But I didn't want to stop there. I still wanted to get involved, similar to my experience at Baruch. So I joined the Latino Inclusion Network, I joined the Black Inclusion Network, I joined the Veteran Affairs, and I've never been in the Army or anything like that. But just because I was curious about that and I wanted to learn more, right? And I think as a person, for you to be able to relate to others, it's important to be part of their communities, right? So this is a community. This is your Baruch community, but outside of this, there's so many other communities that you should also be looking and tapping into. That make sense? Yes, right? And so with that, again, it's important for you to get involved because all the skills that you learn here truly will set you apart when you get to the workforce. I learned how to work with people, different kinds of personalities. Anybody had to deal with that before? Right? How about those group projects? Everybody participates 100%, right? Right? So all of that, I learned that here. So when I left Baruch, I already had an advantage, and people will ask me, like, how do you make time for everything that you do? Because on top of that, I had co-founded a not-for-profit organization my senior year. So while I started my full-time career at PwC, I was still trying to run a not-for-profit, which is like a full-time job on its own, right? But because I had gained those skills here, that helped me later on. And in short, one thing that I did want to mention as well with this diversity expo is that all the firms and companies and organizations that are here today, we want something that you have. If not, we wouldn't make the investment, right? We wouldn't be here. I was here last Friday. I didn't have to be here if anybody wants to, right? Or maybe Ingrid would like, oh my God. Right? But no, think about that, right? There's something unique about you that you bring to the table, and you need to tap into that and be able to share your story and not be afraid to show and be proud of where you come from. So with one of the things that I was talking to Ali about is that, he's already, in my eyes, he's successful. All of you probably have your own successful stories as well. And success is not an up arrow that is always going to be up and you're like, yes, everything's going amazing. No, there's going to be peaks, there's going to be valleys, there's a lot of twists and turns, and you need to be ready for that, right? But that's how you create your own story.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree more with what Janet has said. And as you guys have seen, there was a pattern here. Like, Janet got many opportunities, but she never stopped. And I think that this is something I really want to highlight, is that you always have to try to keep evolving and shape that story that makes you you. Because if as a freshman, my only story was my background that I lived in 5 countries. But if I stopped there and just got my internship and stuff, like, I wouldn't have kept on evolving. So what I decided to do was to join the finance committee of NAVA, because those are honestly like some of the most amazing people I've ever met there. And so I joined the event committee of Alpha also, and I joined Team Baruch, where I was able to become a freshman seminar peer mentor, just for careers and an orientation leader. And also I made the transition from mentee to mentor in Success Network. And I think that in everything we do, you always have to try to pave the way back for someone. You always give back. Because someone will help you, and then when you get to a position where you can help, you have to give your head back. Now as a EY campus ambassador, I'm able to connect some of my friends and some of the best students at Baruch actually to the EY recruiter, Emi Takahashi. So I think that you always have to be able to give back and pave the way for someone, and also keep on evolving and shaping that story that makes you you. And I'll always try to make an impact, and I believe that Janet can tell you more about that.
Yeah, so if you don't remember anything that we said, we made an acronym, Ali and I, and PwC and EY, we're really big on acronyms. Am I right, Amy? Everything we do is like an acronym. You're like, what does FS mean? What does IFS mean? Like, it's just all acronyms. So this one actually is impact. And these are 5 different things that we want you to, or 6 different things that we want you to remember, right? So innovate. You're always going to be innovating yourself throughout your career, right? Or throughout your college career. Even as a student, I am not the same person that I was when I was a college student. I've had 3 careers at this point. I probably wouldn't recommend that either, even though I regret my experience. But I was an accountant, then I was an educator, and I'm an HR professional. That's my success story though. Yours may look a little bit different. But throughout all my experiences, I think what I took the most was, what did I learn, and how can I use this to go into my next position, or into my next career or role? Masterpiece, right? If you think about your life as a piece of artwork, you are a masterpiece, right? You hold the paintbrush to create your story. And right now, you're still probably a work in progress. But I want you to think about that. What is your picture gonna look like? Right? Paying it forward. Ali really spoke a lot about this, paying it forward, and I can tell you, in my personal life, all the experiences that I've had is because I've paid it forward, expecting nothing in return. And when you do that, you see the blessings come from like all angles, like to the point where you're like, what is going on right now, right? So paying it forward is important because guess what? All of you here are each other's networks, right? The other thing that I wanted to mention is action, right? A lot of you didn't raise your hand when I asked you, are you involved on campus? Or even if you're not involved on campus as a leader, are you using the resources that are available to you here? There's so much that you can take advantage of, and I understand some people have different priorities. I know some people have families, maybe you're working full-time or going to school full-time. That's okay too, but make sure that you're still tapping into all these different communities that are available to you and all these different resources. The next one is connecting, right? If you haven't heard this yet, you know networking is a big, big thing. And as uncomfortable as it can be, I can tell you now as a professional, that's still something that I continue to work on. When I first came as a recruiter to Baruch, Amy actually came up to me to introduce herself to me. That was networking. And after that, I think we have a pretty good relationship, right? Right? I mean, she's my competition, but it's okay, right? So again, right, we all talk to each other. So that's part of your network. I don't know how I can help Amy later on, or how she can help me, or maybe help one of you guys together. We can help you, right? So think about that. Having your network and utilizing each other is important. You also don't know if the person sitting next to you is going to be the next person that's going to give you your job, is going to be the person who's going to be your boss in the future, right? Or give you your next opportunity. And some people are like, well, we're both seniors. How are they going to give me my next job? You never know, right? They may come up with their own company. So that's also important. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about was time. I can't tell you how many times, and I'm sure other recruiters could probably relate to this, and even when I was a student, how many times I have seniors that are almost out the door graduating coming to me to get an opportunity. And it breaks my heart because I'm like, I have nothing to offer you right now, right? So time waits for no one. So you want to make sure that you're doing things in a timely fashion, right? The fact that you're here today says a lot about you already, and it already shows us that you are taking that initiative. So keep that in mind as well. So the last thing I wanted to mention was, you know, again, everything you do, make it with impact, while always leveraging your differences. And then the last thought that we wanted to leave you with was this: what do you want to be remembered for? So I'm going to say that again, right? What do you want to be remembered for? Thank you.
So, thank